What's up, guys? Bones88 here, and I am here with my good friend Zeri, and this is Volume 3 of Goblin News. We got a lot of things to cover real quick, and this is the second time we're recording it. I had a little noob move, and I forgot to record the audio, so we're going to rush right through this stuff. Zeri, you want to say hi and say a few things?
Hey, buddy, thanks for having me, and don't worry about it. I've done it a bunch, and I'm glad to be here and glad we're doing this. Love you, bud.
Zeri, it's always an honor, man. I love you, brother, and I'm excited to do this every time. So let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about Radash. Does he suck? What do you think about him?
Radash is very. I don't know if he sucks. He's not a trash character to me, but he is extremely underwhelming. You know, you read his kit, and you think he's going to be able to do good things, and he's just got a couple problems. One is that he's super squishy, and he dies like that. And his potency's so low, he's dependent on it. His kit is very, if this happens, then this happens. If this happens, then this happens. And he really needs Shadar in that team. I've tried him out on multiple teams, and to reach his full potential, he really needs Shadar. Then his move kit with that third ability, he gives the buffs to random enemies, but if he doesn't have buffs, you kind of waste that move. And he doesn't seem to get a lot of buffs. I don't know. What do you think?
Everything you said, man, I agree. My biggest complaint was what you said, where he takes his debuffs and throws them on the team. I don't ever use it when I was testing him. He never seemed to get too many debuffs, if any. And in my opinion, they should have made it to where Shadar, that move includes Shadar, so that you're taking Radash's and Shadar's debuffs and throwing them on the team. And I ran him by the team, and they didn't really like it. But I guarantee they'll probably buff that later on in the game.
That would have been a phenomenal move, because a lot of people will target Shadar first.
Yeah,
and if he could pop that would be amazing. And
every time Shadar dies first, so you know he's got a lot of buffs or debuffs ready to be thrown on somewhere else. So this something tells me that they're gonna do that, because I just wasn't a fan of Radash.
No, I mean, for a free character, you can't really complain, I guess. But I'm right with you. I'm rushing out to get that guy, you know.
Yeah, and I think they're just doing that to make another demon team for Battlegrounds, you know, because he's best under Shadar lead, correct?
In my opinion, yeah, he is. I mean, he does carry the order tag. I tried him out with the Solius Mage comp, and it just didn't seem to work right. You see, he's really made to run under Shadar, so yeah, that would make a lot of sense to have two Battleground teams for sure.
Yeah, man, I agree. To me, he was a little underwhelming, and yeah, I don't think he's trash. You're right, he doesn't suck, but I just really was kind of disappointed in him. He looked awesome. I was excited to see what he had.
His kit.
I mean, he looked really cool, and the kit sounds cool. It just isn't that great on paper, and maybe they're doing that for a reason. Maybe there's another character that's going to synergize with him and Shadar better and make the team a lot better. I'm not sure, but I was just kind of underwhelmed by it all, honestly. I don't know if I have anything else to say about that. The Shadar dies before you can get any kind of synergy with the two, and
yeah, and that's the thing, is he just, I played him with a Goblin team, and with all the AoEs on a Goblin team, you just get slaughtered, and just keeping him alive is so hard.
That's all I got to really say about him. Do you have anything else to add to that?
No, I think we pretty much hit that one on the head, man.
Okay. All right, so moving on, G12 Events. I have a lot to say about this. First of all, I love the idea of, instead of you just sitting there, simulating a node, for a month or something, they're actually doing something cool that other hero clickers don't do, and that's making it up to you. If you're skilled enough or your characters are high enough to take on this challenge, then you get that gear piece, and that's a huge gear piece you need too. And they just did a really interesting and really cool idea of making it a challenge instead of just a node you farm. I think they released it kind of broken, because there's a lot of characters that are broken that will just kill you in one move. Some are really easy, some are just impossible, like broken, and some are just right in the middle. And so, but either way, I love the idea. Like I said, they kind of released it broken, so you're going to find that there's going to be a lot more nerfs to these characters. There's going to be more nerfs to these events because they're just so impossible, So it's going to get better. So if you guys are complaining about how hard it is, it'll get better. You know, they already released some and made them easier as it is. I don't know why they didn't let us test it for a little bit longer and figure out what ones were too hard and stuff, but either way, really cool idea, and what do you think about it?
You know, you hit it on the head for me. It's we got this thrown at us on the test account like 2 days before it came live, and I wish they really would have given us maybe like a week to get in there, because, you know, we were saying, you know, a really good tester for this game, Shaking Gaming, he breaks it down and really, really well, and he would have had to sit at his computer, me or you, for 24/7 pretty much to get through all the characters. And we weren't given Gear 12 on the test account. We still got to go through and do those. And yeah, like you said, some of them you can walk through them no problem, and some of them you get one shot. So it is broken to an extent, but the idea, like you said, I love the idea of it being your own personal challenge to get through it. It's something you can continuously work towards and keep your interest in the game, and that alone is huge.
Yep, I totally agree. Also, I'm starting to run into Gear 12 teams in Battlegrounds and in Hard Tower and stuff, and Gear 12 is nothing to mess with. Have you been running into Gear 12 teams also?
Ran into a couple in my last Battleground, and I couldn't even. He had a Gear 12 on either side of the, you know, of the islands, and I couldn't get to his back row, and I just got smoked.
Yesterday, I finished my first Hard Tower mode ever with ease. And then today, I about broke my phone because I hit this Gear 12 team, Slinger Demons team, and nothing. I've tried throwing in crappy teams and having them waste their abilities, and I go in with my Thelaine Demons team and nothing. Like, just smoking me. So I was stopped right there. So you can't go wrong with Gear 12 in some characters. Me and Zeri were talking earlier, but Zeri prefers to... Well, go ahead and Zeri, tell them what you're trying to do. You're trying to Gear 11 all your characters, right?
Yeah, I'm under the mindset of to get somebody to Gear 12 is a massive sink. Now, you can go through and do the challenges, but that doesn't get you to Gear 12. You still have all the other pieces of gear to get. So what I'm doing is I'm just pretty much hoarding all of my Gear 12 pieces right now, because I want to see, maybe, you know, people are rushing out to do their demon comps, and maybe the new raid that's going to launch, demons won't be good in. So all of that, I'd rather wait and see, okay, the next big piece of raid content we get, maybe we'll need pandas for there. Then I can go in and Gear 12 my pandas and be ready to contribute to that raid more. So I'm just taking all of my characters to Gear 11 in preparation for the next kind of big event. And if I get everybody to Gear 11 before, you know, the new raid launches, then I'll start chipping away at my favorite characters. But I'm in no rush right now to kind of Gear 12 some people, even though it'll probably hurt me in arena and things like that. I'd rather get everybody up to where they can be usable, see what the new content's going to bring when it comes. So I think that's still going to drop probably the first quarter of next year. So I think it's right around the corner.
Totally agree, man. I'm doing the similar kind of thing. I'm still trying to Gear 11 all my orcs and all my elves and everything else before I even think about doing Gear 11 plus even. You know what I'm saying? I put a few pieces on my really favorite characters, but I don't even have a lot of Gear 11 plus things on my characters, so I definitely agree.
No, me neither. I get to 11 and I stop. I don't take them any further than just normal Gear 11.
Same here. And something tells me that, like, when they did the T8 raid, they must have wanted people to use Gear 12 characters. Is your guild able to do T8 yet?
No, it's not.
Same
you know,
here.
we're getting close. You know, we get to the dragon, maybe 30% into the dragon, and we kind of fizzle out. And that's okay, because I recently switched guilds, and, you know, they're kind of amping up, and I'm just helping them prep for it. So,
yep.
You know,
Same here.
and it is what it is. I mean, the rewards are a little bit better. You get a couple of those Gear 12 pieces, you know, Gear 11 plus pieces in there and things like that. But there's really no rush to get to T8 at this moment.
I feel you, man.
For us.
I agree. And you know that Goblin Raid's going to be... You're going to have nothing but Gear 12, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be brutal. I'm looking forward to that challenge.
If that T8 is as hard as it is, I know that Goblin Raid's going to be crazy hard, so...
Yeah.
Still looking forward to that. Okay. Anything else you want to say about Gear 12?
No, no. I just really love the way they did it. Yeah, it's a little bit, they got tweaking to do, but the thought process and how different it is super cool.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree. All right. So the last couple of weeks we've been having a Halloween event, Hallow Days or something like that. Lots of little stuff here and there. What did you think about that?
Well, and I said this before, and kind of start with it again. Everything I say here has got to be taken with a grain of salt, because this was all free. We got these pump coins for the holidays event by doing what we normally do. And I just didn't seem to get a lot of them, maybe like 1,000 a day. And the store itself seemed absurdly overpriced for what we were getting. And, but it's all free, so I can't complain too much. But it didn't really pull in my interest. Like, I got to get these pump coins because I'm not dropping 600 of my pump coins on 15 amount of mockeries. It just doesn't make sense. I could farm those easily with a lot less aggravation. It just didn't seem to pop for me. It was just kind of there, and if I got it, I got it. If I didn't, I didn't. I didn't really feel like a rush to kind of get it.
Yep. I agree with everything you said. That was pretty much my opinion of it too.
Yeah.
If you're going to give us a small amount of pump coins, it was just a week, right? Or 2 weeks? A week?
It was just 7 days, and then the shop stayed open for an 8th day.
Okay, so 1 week. Okay, well, either give us a whole bunch of them because you're only giving it to us for a week. Because, like you and I said, I probably got 3,000, maybe 4,000 total throughout the week. So that's not that much stuff I could have bought. So what I think they should have done was just have it throughout the whole month of October, because you think of October as Halloween anyways, not just 1 week out of it. But yeah, like you said, man, my only complaints was not enough pump coins. Things were too expensive. Like, even if they would have made Radash shards like 1,200 or something, 1,500 just seemed like too much. Like, I've came out and said, like, he's kind of an underwhelming character, so you couldn't refresh, so it's not like people were gonna have him at 7-star in a week. It wasn't like that. You couldn't refresh the store. You couldn't do anything like that. So
right.
I wish they would have just made it longer, I think, and then I would have been happy. But like you said, I can't complain. Things were free. It's cool that they even went out of their way to make it the themed and everything. And my favorite part was the theme, like changing the menus and the backgrounds and stuff. That itself was my favorite part. Just to aesthetically. It was aesthetically pleasing to me that we're used to the same backgrounds all the time. We've been playing it every single day for a year, and whenever you change something up, you notice it, and it's kind of nice to see something different.
No, and I agree. Like, it proves the point of how far visually this game has come since it launched. Like, having the pumpkins in the new background, it just looked awesome.
Yep.
I mean, it looked like it belonged. It was smooth. I love how they do that, and for that part of it, they did a great job. And games don't even have to put in like holiday events,
Yep.
but they did, and it's stuff for free. So I'm not like complaining to that end. I just would have liked to be more drawn into it. Like, oh man, we only have a limited time to do this. And before it was kind of like, when we was having, it's like, if you get it, you get it. And I didn't feel like the urge to get in there every day.
No.
So it's no fault of their own. It's just, that's personally how I felt.
And I didn't even get Radash. I bought 1 or 5 Radash shards, and after that, I just spent it all on gear. Because
see, and that's probably the smart thing to do, because I bought Radash shards every time, and I should have bought Gear 12 pieces.
Yep.
So
yeah, I bought a couple Gear 12 chests, and then I was gearing up Delman, and he's a B word to gear up. So.
Man, he's right next to the Mega Wheel.
I had no idea. I had no idea, man. I had no idea he was going to be that bad, and so I went ahead and used that to get him up to Gear 10. I'm still working on him. So, but yeah, and also I just want to say I'm proud of the developers, the Play Quantum. It's only been 1 year, and in 1 year they've already revamped, like you said, most of their character models. They're already trying to make their game better. Galaxy of Heroes, their characters look the same as they did 5 years ago. And, they've had 6 years to redo their stuff, and they haven't. And that just goes to show how much they do care about this game. And they're thinking about the longevity going forward. There's a lot of things that people are probably like, Why are they working on that right now? Well, I think it's just so they don't have to worry about doing it way down the line. Because let's say you only have a small amount of characters now, so why not redo all the models now before you have a 300 characters to redo? You know, and
Exactly.
and the evolution of how the characters are looking are crazy. Radash looks cool.
Yeah.
Garrett looks cool. Kiri is cool, and all the recent characters are just really, really cool. And I'm just really proud of them. And I know, like they did the nerf on Kyra and Slinger, but we've said this before. There's a reason for it. There's something coming up. There's something coming up that a character or something that's going to synergize or something where you're going to be like, oh, that's why they did that. And and
they always have a plan.
And usually
Usually
the things they do are really small. Like the things that are controversial are really pretty small. Like I feel like a lot of us can't find much to complain about this game, so we just complain about the small things. We forget of all the stuff they're doing. I mean, the last 2 updates, there was that Battleground update, which was huge, and that was only a few months ago. And then we have this big Halloween update, which no one really asked for, but they gave us, which is a big deal. I mean, every update lately has been huge. And like, you know, whenever we did the coverage of, we all had separate videos, but when all of us covered that last update, they were all 40 minutes long because they gave us so much stuff. And everyone complains about a long video, but what do? I mean, you gave us so much stuff that we couldn't do anything about it. And so
we could have made 3 videos apiece on that update.
Yeah, and that's been the last 2 updates for the most part. They have those little updates they do here and there, and that's just been the last few months. And it's been 1 year, guys. So all the ones that are getting, you know, antsy and like, oh, they're doing this and that. What do I always say, man? Just be patient. Be patient, because this is only 1 year. They've revamped a whole mode all in 1 year. They've revamped the models. They've given us content that's pretty positive. There's way more positive content coming out than there is negative. And this is all in 1 year. And so, like, in 1 year from now, I feel like you're going to have 3 times the stuff you had to do today with it only being a year.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're getting to the point, finally, where we probably should have seen all this stuff. It's the Halloween event, of course, 3 months ago. But they had to stop what they're doing to fix Battlegrounds. So we're getting caught up with all this new stuff they're inundating into the game, and we're finally seeing what they're doing, and it's awesome. So they pretty much rebuilt a whole mode while already thinking ahead and redesigning characters and backgrounds, and you know, they're adding voice to the game, and they're trying to make it one of the best hero collectors out there, and so far, to me, they're succeeding.
And they are. It's just I still think that not very many people know about this game. I think a lot of the community came from, remember when Galaxy of Heroes was having a problem and everyone wanted to find a new game and everyone jumped ship? Well, I think if it wasn't for all those people, this game probably wouldn't be where it's at today. But thankfully, it got a lot of, every Arnold Cubs fan, they were all like, go to this game. And they played it for a while. You know, unfortunately, they kind of quit playing it. And I still think today not very many people know about it. I mean, because I told you that
the popularity grows from month to month. The downloads stay steady. You know, the income of money to them stays steady. You know, steadily creeps up a little bit every time, and that's what we want. I mean, we just continue to watch it grow and help the new people who come in and welcome them in. And that's one of the main reasons I like this game. Is you read some of the forums on like Raid Shadow Legends or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and it's just people bad mouthing each other. You know, why'd you do that? You're an idiot. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
And the only time you hear somebody call somebody an idiot here is when I call myself one because I made a dumb mistake in a video. You know, it's you don't see that with the community, and it's really nice. Yep,
community is great, man. But what I was going to say about that is it's growing, and I think it's going to be 5 million by next year. You know what I'm saying? Because
I wouldn't be shocked.
And you know,
if they keep going the way they're going, yeah.
And what was it, like a month ago they hit 1 million or something? So that's a big deal. And we've talked about this the last Goblin News. They started out with like 5 people. 1 year ago there was 5 people here, and I think they've upped it to like 25 or 30 or something. And and that's a lot. That's a lot for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And they've handled the pressure pretty well, and they've done what they're supposed to for the most part. These guys are new to this. They started this from the ground up with lore and character models, and the style and everything was from the ground up by 5 people. And as they've gotten bigger, they've made the quality better as it goes, while giving you new content. And, you know, just like I said, if you guys are dissatisfied with the game now, I'm telling you, there's a Goblin Raid right around the corner. Us testers don't know when it is, but I bet you it's going to be less than 2 months, and you're going to see a new Goblin Raid. I mean, do you think that's a good time frame? Because we're seeing footage of it several months ago already.
Yeah, I think, you know, that first quarter of 2021, somewhere in there, for sure.
Yeah.
I can see it coming. And, you know, we don't know anything. This is all straight speculation, but they don't rest. I mean, I can write Lizard Breath on the weekend. She writes me back. So does Dragon. It's crazy. It's like, don't you guys have a life? Like,
yep.
I know I'm writing you on the weekend, but I'm always like, hey, I know when you get back in on Monday, let me know. And they'll write me back in a couple hours unless they're sleeping. I'm like,
yeah,
crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. They do care about us. There might be some nerves or something to think. They're not sitting there thinking, how can we piss off the fan base today? I feel like Galaxy of Heroes does that. They're like, okay, how can we really piss somebody off? But these guys aren't doing that. And we've said this before. They almost listen too much to us, you know, because
sometimes they do. And I think that's why people bitch sometimes. Oops, excuse me. I think that's why people get upset sometimes, because they know they listen, so they make bigger deals out of things than they are.
Yep.
You know.
Yep, I agree.
Because I know they know they listen, so they're like, well, if I raise a stink about this, maybe they'll change it. And they're starting to get a little bit better with that, and I'm proud of them for that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's times they should listen to us, like we talked about. There's times they should listen to us, and they don't. And then there's times they shouldn't, and they do. Yeah. So, and I'm guilty of it too. I suggested something that ended up not working the way I wanted it to.
Yep.
So, you know, it's trial and error for everybody in this game, but they're doing a good job of being so.
And for example, me and other testers, before Battlegrounds came out, we were like, you can't let us keep the defensive teams that we put down. You got to be able to lose teams, or you can't let us go back in.
Yeah.
You can't let us back out and go back in. That's just going to be, you can't do that. Like, I was looking for a Grand Arena clone, and we all were. And then they were like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to try this out and see how it works. And it worked beautifully. Now that I've done enough Battlegrounds, I'm like, I don't want it to go back the other way. And so that shows that I was completely wrong, and I'm glad that they didn't listen to me about that. So it's just a fine medium, you know what I'm saying? There's some things they should have listened to us, and they still didn't. But like you said, they're getting better at figuring out what to do. You know what I'm saying? What to listen to, and they know what goals they're set. And sometimes we don't know what they have, because they don't tell as much to the testers as you think they do. You know what I'm saying? They just say, hey, test this stuff, and we get it like a week or two of preview before everyone else. That's about it. They don't really they don't really tell us what road they're trying to go down or why they're doing what they're doing. They just want to make sure, you know, they just want us to test the bugs and make sure there's nothing huge or broken about it. And because they don't give us much time to test things either. But what I'm saying is, if there's something that comes out and you're like, why are they doing this? Why are they nerfing that? Just know that there's a reason, guys. And, you know, a couple months down the road, you're going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why they nerfed Kyra. Which we were talking, I'm pretty sure they're nerfing Kyra and Slinger and reworking so that you can split your teams down the middle for Battlegrounds. So you can split your goblins up. Yep. And, you know, Arno's going to be a tank for, like you said, Major Shot. And you can have a tank Adam with General Murdoch. You can tell how things are working out. At first, you're like, what is going on? But now you're starting to see the mold of, they're wanting you to have more teams in Battleground, especially adding these territories. You're really going to need to split your teams up more than ever. And that will probably come down to a victory, is the person who can split up their teams the best. And, you know, that relies on a lot of strategy, too. So that's what makes it even more fun. And we talked about that in your video. So go over there if you want to hear more about what we thought about all the changes in Battlegrounds and everything. Anyways, I'm rambling on, man. Is there anything else you want to say as far as the future of the game's going and anything like that?
No, I think it's heading in the right direction, and they just keep full steam ahead. And I know they watch everybody who makes content. I know they watch it because they'll DM you on different things.
Yep.
So they do a good job with that. So just keep doing a good job, and Collins, you keep putting in your work too, man. You're killing it. So good job to you.
You too, buddy. I'm glad things are getting better for you, and you're getting that content back out, man. I watch them every time. Even when I'm not even listening, really, I'll just throw you on just to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I love YouTube, so I do that for all my favorite content creators. But
I'm the same way with you. As soon as I see you post I watch it.
Yep. And sometimes I'm like, even if I don't have time, I'll jump on there and like it and throw a comment just to help you out. You know what I'm saying? Because and everyone should do the same. Even if you don't have time to watch us or something, it really helps us out if you just go like it or something, because the YouTube algorithm notices that and it helps us out. So if you guys didn't know that, just taking your time to like a video helps a lot for us. So anyways, I think that's about it, guys. Speaking of all that, make sure you go, if you don't know about Zeri, which I'm sure you do because most of my subscribers are from your community, the XMG community, but if you don't, go over there, man. He's the godfather of this game. He breaks down artifacts and runes and everything that people like me don't want to take time to do. We just want to put out the news and everything. Might as well call me Chiefs fan Chewy. I'm like the Cubs fan Han of this thing. I just like to report everything, and if there's anything really cool to show off, I just like to do it. But I'm not a very good theory crafter. But this is the man right here. This is the theory crafter. He can break down kits for you like no other. His noob series are great. I just can't. And he has a year's worth of content. So much good stuff. Definitely one of the best, if not the best YouTuber for Dragon Champions. And he's also doing raids. So if you guys enjoy Raid and you play that, go check out his newest video on Raid. But anything else you want to say about your channel, my friend?
No, man, you did it for me, so I'm blushing over here. So thank you for that, and thanks for having me on. I love doing this with you every single month, and you're the man, buddy, and I love you.
Zeri, no problem, brother. I love you too, man, and I can't wait to do some more videos with you, man.
Yep, more to come, buddy.
All right, guys, make war, not love. Peace.
See you guys.